Hey everyone. Oh, I got my scale up in my face. Hold on a second here. There we go. Hey everybody. Thanks for checking out my broadcast. Today is day 333 of my 3-year challenge to lose 300 pounds. Say that 10 times fast. Uh, this is your first time checking out one of my broadcasts. My name is Jonathan. I am 39 years old. I'm married. We have 4 children and 2 dogs. And I've been overweight my whole life, and I really got to a point that I needed to do something to get control of my weight. And so that's why I developed this challenge. The 2 big things about this challenge is that I wanted to stick to something for 3 years. And then the other part of it is that I want to lose 300 pounds. I am 11 months in. Last month, I weighed in at 323.6 pounds. So I've lost over 195 pounds at that point. The lowest I've been is around 310 pounds or 311 pounds. I gained some weight back because I had surgery and was unable to be very active and just had a lot going on. But I am today is going to be my official 11-month weigh-in to see what I weigh. I'm not sure if I'm going to go back to weekly weigh-ins or if I'm going to make it a monthly thing or not. So, but I'm going to hop on the scale now and see what it says. So let me pull this back up. Awesome. So 315.2 pounds. Give me a second to update my thing here. And then, oh my gosh, I have too many different, what's going on? Here we go. Current weight. 315.2. Awesome. So back down to 315.2. Let me just get this here, and so we can get 8 minus 2. So that's a total of 204.6 pounds, or about 205 pounds lost in 11 months. And I am so happy that I was able to take off another 8 pounds or so since last month. What was it? 323.6, and now I'm 315.2, 8.4 pounds. So it's really great to have lost that 8 pounds this month. It really has been it was stressful that I gained that weight, but I also knew that it was just going to take time for it to start to come off. If I could have lost more, that would have been great, but I didn't do anything in the past month to really facilitate any major weight loss. And if you look at, it being 4 weeks, that's about 2 pounds or 2.1 pounds a week for the past 4 weeks. So that is a great amount of weight to lose. And I feel it kind of all over my body, especially in my midsection, like around my waist. I've really started to feel that the skin has like loosened up, or like, it's sad that it's a little droopier, I suppose. But like when I put compression shirts on or things that are tighter, it kind of is able to be pushed in from where it's at. So it's a little bit looser. Anthony and Carrie both saying hi here. Hi guys. I hope you guys are having great days. Carrie says that's great even after the giant brownie last night. Yes, I'll go over that in a little bit. And then Anthony says, I am ignoring you guys. I am. I was just trying to get through all my stuff that I had going on. But thanks guys for checking out the broadcast. But yeah, it's so nice to be down that 8 pounds, and I feel just amazing, more amazing every day. And the, and I started this whole thing with the intention of, making diet my primary source of weight loss. And I had done that this whole time outside of the training for my sprint triathlon that I did. And, I'm was worried that, the weight loss, I was going to have to be training like I was for that triathlon for the weight to continue to come off. And I didn't have to train like that, and I still had weight come off, which is, just more affirming that my diet is what is making this possible more than anything else. I hope you guys all had a great day since yesterday. I know I had a great evening. I talked about it a little bit yesterday, but we were celebrating our youngest daughters. They are twins. We were celebrating their birthday last night. So it was a really good evening. We had some family over to celebrate. It was a bit awkward because we are plant-based and nobody else that came. Hold on a second. Nobody else that came last night was plant-based. I think I talked about it in yesterday's stream, but really the best thing that we could figure to do was to just order some pizzas and have pizza available for everybody. I gotta say, I'm gonna go more into it, but yesterday, was it Golden or somebody was in chat yesterday that had suggested that I check out a video, and it was Golden, and I checked out that video yesterday, and I'll go more in depth in that. But one of the things that they talk about in the video is that there is an addictive chemical inside of cow's milk, and I imagine there's an addictive chemical inside of all animals' milk, and it's in there intentionally because they want the young baby to want that milk. And so and unfortunately it was funny because it was a word that he had written on the whiteboard, and it was an important thing in the speech, but I can't think of the name. But it had something to do with, morphine or some sort of chemical that I know or have heard of as being addictive. And so we ordered pizza last night, and my son, who, is does decent for us, and he eats, he has a few things he eats, and we're trying to get him to eat more plant-based things. But he saw the opportunity to eat cheese pizza, and the cheese pizza that we get is actually a cheese pizza with no sauce on it. And he just went at it. I think he had 7 pieces of pizza. They're sliced fairly thin. So, I think there might be it was less than half of a pizza. I think they're sliced like in 16, but it was a large pizza. But he just went at it, and he was so excited. And I know he was kind of just doing it because he doesn't ever get that. And we had it in the house. And so, that kind of seeing that, in the speech that I watched, and then kind of my son, actually, I think I watched it after my son went after that Gary Yourofsky speech. I think I watched that after my son had devoured the pizza, but he really went at it. And I mean, everybody ate pizza. We had a lot of pizza, and they all ate it. It was a little bit awkward because me and Carrie didn't eat any pizza, and just the dinner that one of the dinners we really like is chickpea tikka masala. And since we were celebrating, Carrie wanted to make chickpea tikka masala, and it takes a while to cook. It's just something that you have to let it cook down, and the chickpeas take a very long time to cook as well. And so it worked out that pretty much everybody was done eating dinner by the time our meal was ready to go. And then we ate we ate our meal kind of in between the theirs and the cake, you know. So it stretched everything out, and it was kind of a bit, like I said, awkward to be eating. We might even eat after they had cake, honestly, but it was definitely later than everybody else. So the timing of the food being done was probably what would have, I guess, kind of made it more awkward than anything. But we managed. I didn't have any temptation to eat any of the pizza. I don't have any temptation to change or deviate from our diet, especially not that far, I guess. And so that's kind of been, something that in the past, I guess I would have worried about before having, if I was sitting here thinking about reasons why not to start my diet, it would be, well, what am I going to do at my kid's birthday? Or what am I going to do, when this happens or when that happens? And, or how am I going to, avoid all these temptations? And I don't have a problem avoiding these temptations because I'm not interested in it at all. With, it's just the way I'm thinking about things now. I didn't think at the time, I didn't know that I could think about things the way I do now. Because it was just such a foreign concept to me to eat this way or to live this way. So when I have, when we have stuff like cheese pizza or pepperoni or sausage pizza in front of us, it really doesn't appeal to me either. I suppose our guests probably suffered a bit because normally we would have ordered more interesting pizzas than a regular sausage or regular pepperoni. We would have gotten a meat lover pizza or the garage, whatever, the supreme pizza. But we just got them kind of simple pizzas because we weren't eating them. But we did have an opportunity, and Carrie did mention it, that we did have some of our diet compliant brownies. I imagine that the recipe is in somewhere on the Pinterest board that is down in the description below. There's a link to that, but it's like a bean based, it was like a bean base. It's kind of the dessert we have whenever we're celebrating anything. And we had that for dinner last night. I imagine there would be more left over for me, but I don't know if that's the case or not. Carrie didn't make a ton, but we'll see. Carrie said it looked so greasy. Yeah, the pizza itself was very greasy. I ended up kind of like washing my hands a couple times just from handling the pizza to put on the kids' plates, just because I got sauce or grease on my fingers, and it was, like she said, it was kind of, and that stuff that wouldn't have bothered me before. I would have licked off my fingers before, and now I have to go and wash my hands because it just so foreign to me or so odd to me. The other thing, so yeah, the girls' birthday party went well. Everybody had a good time. I don't think anybody suffered because, we eat the way we eat. We did end up having, it was something that it was a gift that was given to me a few months back. Somebody had given us some pints of very nice ice cream, and they'd just been sitting in our freezer. So last night gave us an excuse to bust those out and let everybody try those ice creams as well. I imagine they liked them. They were pretty, they looked like they were going to be good. I don't even remember there was one that was a s'mores, and it didn't really matter, but it was nice that they got to share that. Carrie says there is another brownie for me, so I would have that as an option to celebrate my 8.4 pound weight loss. That sounds like a good way to celebrate the weight loss. I mentioned that I did watch that video that Golden had suggested. It was Gary Yourofsky, the most important speech you will ever hear. It was really good. Very, so it's his speech that he goes to colleges and gives, or he goes around the country and gives, talking about why we should eat a plant-based diet. And there's a couple things that I really took from that speech that I really liked. One of them is that it's the second time that I've seen somebody kind of come out and just flat out say that humans are 100% herbivores in their genetic design. And that's not anything that was ever taught to me or that I ever really would have considered, because we're able to process meat and we're able to eat meat. But it's, like when you compare our intestinal tracts and our insides to other animals, we match up closer, or we match up identically with most herbivores, and not carnivores, like with the length of our intestines, the way our stomach works, all the different things, lots of things. But that was one of the takeaways, that like, it was just more affirming of that kind of thought process. And then kind of one of the things that he also kind of talked about to support that, and I think I've talked about it, is what osteoporosis is. And I never would have really known, or I didn't quite understand what osteoporosis was, and the way he explains it, it made a lot more sense. But it's essentially the your bones degenerating, I believe that that's the right word, or the deterioration of your bones over time. And the way he explained, or why we see osteoporosis in our society, is because when we eat meat, it causes our blood, the pH in our blood, to change to a little bit more acidic than it is normally, or than it wants to be. And in order to protect our body from that acid, we have to try to bring that acidity down. And the way that our body does that is by releasing phosphate into the blood. And I don't know, this is just from what I got from him explaining this. So the only source of phosphate in our bodies is in our bones. Our bones are made of calcium phosphate. And in order for our bodies to defend against the increased acidity in our blood, it takes that calcium phosphate and it separates it and uses the phosphate, or the phosphate gets separated to help neutralize the acidity in our blood. And then we're left with additional calcium that our body ends up just urinating out. And so that is why we have issues, or people have issues with calcium deficiency, and what causes osteoporosis. And so kind of some of the things he brings up also to defend that point is that if cheese is such a great source of calcium, if milk is such a great source of calcium for us, then with how the American diet is, why would anybody need a calcium supplement? Because we eat cheese all of the time. And if people didn't need calcium supplements, then there wouldn't be advertisements on television for calcium. You wouldn't know of different companies that sell calcium, because there wouldn't be a demand for it if there wasn't a deficiency in the country. And if cheese is such a great source of calcium, then why would there possibly be a deficiency in our country? Because everybody eats all kinds of dairy products. And so while I kind of have heard about us, that we end up urinating out calcium because we bring animal products into our body, I didn't understand the process that we go through to cause that, and how it causes our bones to degenerate. And so I really liked that part of his speech. He does show some graphic things that happen at slaughterhouses that I had not seen before that are definitely very tough to watch. Um, and but he's trying to get a point across to the people that he's giving the speech to. Um, so Anthony says, "Oh wow, so eating meat causes bone degeneration." Yeah, that's from what I understand. It's not just it's any animal products because because our body has to increase the level of acid in it to break down the meat that we eat. And so then in order to not hurt our veins and our heart and everything that our blood runs through, with it being a little bit more acidic than it should be, then yes, that's um, what I gathered from that. And it's not the first place that I have seen that come out or that be what the yeah, it's not the only place I've seen that. So um but yeah, so I was really impressed with the speech. I mean, it's very, he's got a whole, he does it a lot. I think he said he does like 250 speeches a year. So definitely has it down pat, and it is a pretty impactful speech overall. If you want to check that out, there's a link to the Discord down in the description. It's in our general kind of chat. Golden had shared it in the Discord. You can check that video out. I would recommend, if you have, it's about an hour and 9 minutes, I believe, is the total length of the video, but it was a good watch. If that's what if you're interested in eating a plant-based diet, and it's very much from the standpoint of doing it for the animals. And that's kind of the weird thing about this diet. I am not probably going to go into it too much, but I did have somebody contact me about doing an interview for a podcast in the future, and they wanted to ask me some questions. And we just chatted today for a little while, kind of going over my history and my story and what got me into this, and just a bunch of different things. And it was really nice because it gave me a chance to kind of go back and think of all the things that I've talked with you guys about over the past 11 months, and kind of, what are some of the points that kind of stick with me, or what are the things that have helped me along the way. But with the going and doing this diet, it's 100% for a health reason. It's for my, it's a selfish reason why I changed to this diet, in that, it wasn't, it had nothing to do with the animals or saving the planet. But as I'm doing this, and then I'm seeing what I'm, that I am helping animals by not eating them, and helping to, hopefully reduce the carbon footprint that I create by what I eat. Um, the But it's hard to so there's, like, in the vegan culture, I guess there's three different, they say, you come to veganism for the animals, or you come to it because for your health, that way of eating, you come to it for your health, or you come to it from the environment. You're trying to find ways to help the environment, and then you see how much damage the animal agriculture industry does. So then that's what kind of inspires you to become vegan. And so for me, it's definitely from the health standpoint, and it almost feels hard. And it's hard to, just because of the stigma that has been around veganism my whole life, or as long as I've known about it, I guess. It's hard to feel like I would be fit into that community without being an activist, or without being hardcore, like, can I be a vegan and still kill flies, that kind of thing. But it's definitely something where I guess I have to continue to, that it, even if you don't care about the animals, it's really for your health. You know, I mean, for me, it's the, uh, I had to do something to change my life. And I, you know, sometimes I feel like you know, I fail upwards or I stumble down the right path just on accident. And I feel like that's what I've done with this whole channel from the beginning to now, is that I'm just, you know, kind of running into it directionless, but just finding the right paths and doing what has, I mean, worked amazing for me. And I really feel like would work well for other people. You know, I mean, this way of eating is, it was just, I never took it serious, you know, and now it's the only thing I think is seriously the way you should eat. So uh it's just been, it was just kind of crazy to kind of have that talk with them and to kind of go through the whole road of things from, you know, uh yeah, just all of it, just from being a kid to now. And so but it also, yeah, it made me kind of you know, just reaffirmed a lot of things with what I'm doing as well, and that I'm doing the right things, you know, and and it's never too late to change. That's really what I got from talking to them, like that they, what they're doing, you know, it's about plant-based eating, and kind of some of the examples they gave about, you know, like there's a lot of people that aren't finding this until they're in their 60s or in their 70s, you know, but it's never too late to find this and have it make a difference in your life. I, you know, at 39 years old, I really, I don't know that I ever honestly thought I wasn't going to be fat forever. And now I don't believe that I'll be fat forever. I don't, you know, I've thought in my head, or I've said so many times, I wish I could figure out how to eat like a 200-pound person, or eat like a 220-pound person and sustain it. And I really feel like that's what I'm doing now. And it's a high volume of food, and it's just lower calorie with that high volume. And it just works out. And uh it's just, it's what I needed to find. It was, you know, there was a lot of me that was trying to find what I felt like our ancestors ate. I felt like that our food is so perverted from what it's supposed to be when you go into these stores. And I walk into gas stations and I see everything on those shelves is just toxic. Um, and I knew that everything that I was putting in front of myself, or everything that I was putting in my mouth, was just not what the the people I come from were meant to eat. And I think, uh, you know, I come from people that were 100% herbivores. And that's just the way, I think that that's the way it is. I mean, our bodies can process other things, but that's part of the every animal can process other things. It's part of your system. You know, I there was a show about like people that were doing odd things, and I watched this video of a lady that was eating couch cushions, like the foam from couch cushions. She was addicted to eating that. And it's so, and she I'm sure she was having issues. I'm sure there was stuff that was leaching into her body from that, and it was awful. Like, but like, there's lots of things you can process. That doesn't mean you're supposed to process them. Uh, and that's, you know, I feel like now everything I put in my body uses every part of it. There's nothing, there's no filler, there's no excess, there's no I mean, there's undigestible like cell walls, but there's not, uh you know, everything is, most things are, you know, soluble to my body, or that my body can absorb and process. um I don't, yeah, I don't know a better way to explain it, you know. I mean, I guess the best way to explain it is that when it comes out the other end, it is completely broken down. I mean, it's there's no logs in that bowl anymore. It is probably, like what you see a cow or a horse drop, like it's not like a wolf or whatever, a bear, and that's just more, I think, evidence to me that my body is completely breaking that stuff down. There's no, but I don't know. I don't think I'm wrong. I could be wrong about everything. I don't think I'm wrong about everything, but anyways, uh I'm just, yeah, that's about all I have. I'm I'm so happy I lost weight. I mean, the scale has been a frustrating part of my life for the last couple months. I mean, I was at the 9-month weigh-in being 310. I'll have to update the weight chart here so that's on there as well. But being at 310 pounds at 9 months and then being at 323 at 10 months was frustrating. I had reasons why. I was never worried about it, but it's just nice to see the scale moving the right direction and for it to move a good amount. If I'd have gotten on the scale and been 322 and a half pounds, if I'd have lost 1 pound, I would have probably been pretty disappointed. But having a 2 pound a week weight loss for the last month is extremely satisfying for me mentally. It makes me excited again about this. I guess not excited, but like I said, it reaffirms everything. It makes me feel like I'm making the right choices and what I'm doing is the right thing. But I am going to get out of here for today. I do appreciate you guys checking out my broadcasts or, watching the videos after the fact. All of that helps. I hope that, what I'm doing helps you guys too. I think that it's one of those things that right now I'm just kind of, I talked about this maybe a little bit, but not much in that when I was talking to them, but like, I'm just trying to create a record of what I did. I see a lot of times when people, they come on to, social media platforms or places like YouTube here, and they've already lost the 200 pounds or they're already way down in weight, and kind of trying to, say, hey, this is what I did, guys, to get to where I'm at now. And those stories are great. And I love seeing a lot of those, but I wanted to create something where there's, from the beginning, like from the first day, through till the end, 3 years. So, anyways, miso, heck yeah. Celebratory miso and brownie at home tonight. Come on home. Yes, I am very excited about some miso. Who knows if I'll have 2 bowls or 3 bowls or 4 bowls, who knows, but I will have some bowls of miso. Again, thanks guys for checking out the broadcast. Make sure that you do subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Click on that bell icon so you'll get notified when I go live, which is generally weekdays around 4 p.m. I'm planning on going live again tomorrow. I didn't even really talk about it, but if you see the redness on my face, I think I got a little bit of poison ivy on my face. So hopefully that clears up by tomorrow, but I'll be on tomorrow. I hope you guys have a good evening and we'll check. If you haven't already, make sure you get started. Make sure you start your diet now. There's no reason to wait. There's no reason to put it off. You got something coming up this weekend. It's not, so important that you can't start thinking about your weight. Start doing something now. You got to get something going. And, if you got somebody in your life, let them know that what you're going to do or what you're thinking, because you never know. They might give you that push that you need, or they might be that person that you need, you know, that accountability person, you know, that accountability that you need might be there. You just haven't given it a chance. So I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.